Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to teach you about phone photography. This is a topic that is really close to my heart. I really love photography, and nagsugod ko ani back in year 2009 when I was still in my first year in college. What happened was the first camera I actually had was actually just a cell phone. I explored all the angles, I explored how light works, and then I got my first camera pagka third year now, and I was in my third year in college, and I experienced doing sports photography, the intramurals, and then onwards when I graduated college, I proceeded to explore travel and landscape photography, which I truly love. But right now, we'll be talking about photography using just your cell phones. Many people would actually tell you that you need a good camera or you need a good phone to take good photos. But I would say it's all really not about getting a good gear. It's also about controlling light, controlling the angles. It's about composition and making the best of what you already have. And the best camera you need is the one you actually have right now. So right now I'll be discussing to you a lot of topics about these four: light, angles, composition, gear. Lastly is making the best at what you have. These are some of my photos I took, not with a phone, but with a mixture of ang uban is taken with a drone, some are taken with a DSLR, some of these are taken with a camera. All right. So the first topic we'll talk about is light and how it works. Now, as you know, light is very important when we talk about photography because mo na siya magpasuga sa ato ang nawong, mo na siya magpasuga sa ato ang product, sa item. And depende. We need to understand how light works if we want to grow in photography. So there are actually two types of light. One is the hard light that comes from the sun or a fluorescent bulb. And the other is a soft light. It comes from the window or any light that is diffused, meaning there's a light, tabunan mo siya cloth, that is diffused, na mo siyang soft. Now, the difference between these two is the way it behaves. If you see this, the shadows are very sharp. Tanawan ninyo diha sa ubo, sa pedicab, the shadows are sharp. Naka-line siya, di ba? But if you look at soft light, the shadow is soft pod, mura siya fuzzy. So you have to understand that there are two kinds of light para ma-control nato, ma-manipulate nato siya later on. All right. Teka. Another is this. Now, ibutang nimo ang light sa likod sa item, that is backlight. And usually we do not like backlight. Okay, mahitabo, maitom ato ang subject. Just like this. If you see, ang pedicab, ni itom siya. The background is clear, but then ay shadow nga ni abot diri sa atubangan sa pedicab. This is what backlight does to our subject. And we do not want that in product photography. We do not also want that in our subjects. But there are uses for backlight in creative photography. But for product photography, you would want the light to be at the side or at the front of your product. And that's all about light. Now, how to manipulate light? We can manipulate light using a cloth. Meaning if the fluorescent bulb is too harsh kaya ang light, gamitan nato siya o cloth. Pwede siya panyo, spread lang nimo siya, someone would hold you a light, then anaan mo siya panyo. What happens is the light will become soft. A hard light will become soft if it is diffused by something that is murag thin lang pud siya nga makalahos ang light. Another is by staying beside the window. So a window is usually kung assuming lang it's say 11 until 1 p.m., the light is so harsh na amo sulod sa inyong balay, you just have to look for a corner or a nook in your house and naay window. Tapdan ninog table, and then the light that would pass by there would become soft. Now, how does this work? How will this work? Actually, there are ways. I told you kanina, there are times nga ang backlight would be good. It's for creative photography, just like this. But for product photography, we would want the light to be at the side or in the front of your product. That's all about light. Now, the next topic is about angles. Angles. Angles is also important when we want to grow in photography. We learn about aligning sa horizon. We need to align ang horizon nato. Sorry. Okay, look at this picture. If you are taking a picture sa landscape, you have to align your camera or your phone with the horizon. What do I mean? Look at the green line. That's a horizontal line. You have to align the horizon to that green line. Kaganahan ta na flat ang atong picture, dili siya hiwi. Finding it. If you are indoors, it's easy to find. Can you find the horizon here? Siyempre kani, di ba? 1, 2, and there are a lot of lines there. How about here? This is Fab Lab UP Cebu, I believe. It's a conference room dito. It's difficult to find kung hiwi ang camera gaana ka. But in this case, asa man yung pangitaon ng horizon, the lines are slanted. But this is still a good picture because you are aligning with, this time, a vertical line. If lisod pangitaon ang horizon, kay hiwi-hiwi ang lines, you look for a straight line, which is probably a post, a corner, or anything that is straight. In this case, an LCD screen, kana siya. Or this corner, kana siya. In that case, it would ensure na ang imong camera is straight. Paana. Not this, not this, not this. So straight good siya. Naka-align siya sa horizon. All right. The types of angles. How does this work in photography? Wide angle. So you have to stay far from your subject. Palayo ka to show the background. Usually you use this kung ganahan mo nga makita ang subject, iyang relation sa subject sa iyahang background or sa iyahang foreground or whatever. In this case, ang ipakita among isa ka business counselor, ang iyang relation, nagtanaw siya sa ubos. Naman ni second floor ani. Another type of angle is the close-up. Siyempre, from the name itself, paduol ta. Now, usually, if any phone you have, kung mapaduol ka sa subject, mo cause na siya nga mo blur ang likod. And that's good. That's good for portraits. Close-up angle is good for portraits. Another is the high angle. Ana ka, isa ka sa imong camera. So makita nimo ang we usually use this high angle to make your subject smaller. Another is low angle. What happens here is you are making your subject look stronger, look powerful, look in authority. So tanawon ninyo si Kemp, mga ato ang business counselor, mura siya kuan, or gangster, or mura kuan, in control siya, ako'y kabuot aning opisina, inana ba? So that's the use for low angle. For high angle, it's like imong ipa baby imong subject even if he is big. So inana, the angles really work. Usually kung mag-photography ta, anad ta og matindog, and then mo shoot. Try to explore other angles. Either mo crouch mo down low, or iniisa yung camera up high. And in doing that, maka-explore mo of different angles. Another is over the shoulder. Now we use this to show relationship between the subject or the foreground and something that is holding. In this case, I'm showing the relationship between Kemp katong camera. So gaana siya diri taking the photo. How does this work in photography? If tanawin ninyo diri, atong i-review ha. Kasi nakita niyo, really align, di ba? Na-align, hiwi siya. If ato na siyang straight, the photo would become beautiful. So inana lang kasimple. Small adjustments would make a big impact sa inyong photography. In this case, I took a high angle. This is actually Mr. Harvey, isa ka artist. So makita nato ang relationship between him and him. At the same time, the lines are straight to dire. We took a high angle, and makita nato ang daghang tawo, makita ang context of what he is doing. Daghang gatapok sa iya. That's what we want to do. How about this? The lines are still straight. In case those lines aren't present, muna siya akong guide. Straight, straight, straight. Now, maglisod ta sa atong camera, sa atong pag-straight, ipataanad, there are actually options to do so. Now, sa inyong camera, there are grid lines. I think you can see that there. You can see the grid lines, di ba? So I suggest in any camera, whether it's iPhone, it's Android, there is that feature in your phone. You just have to click the settings, and then ang assistive grid for Huawei phones, it's called a grid lang in Samsung and in other phones. I suggest you turn that on so that those grids ma-align ninyo sa horizon or any lines that are in the scene. How about this? This is our director, Ma'am Nympha, meeting with the Bio 1 local government unit. Still the same. We align with kaning align. Okay. So kanin siya close-up shot. Kita na to, and there's a subject there na ang lechon. In this, we're just showing people talking. And same here. Lines are straight. So just by following this rule, ang inyong photography would improve. And in product photography, it's the same. Kung align po mo, di mo maghiwi-hiwi. Kaya pag maghiwi, may inyong product, matuya po, ana. You have to make sure that your phone is straight. Either that or that. Straight siya. Next thing we learn is about composition. By the way, if there are any questions, you can write them down. We'll have a short Q&A after this session. Next thing we learn is about composition. Now, composition is about composing your shot. Now, many photographers, early photographers, beginner photographers, they just want to shoot. Picture, 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 picture. Shoot lang, shoot. But later on, what we'll say is after 10,000 shots, you would learn, you would begin to slow down. Kung ginahinay na mo, mag-think na mo sa shot before you take the shot. Una mo, and then just click it. Now, ang naitabo magud karon is we like to click. Kasi unlimited man ang memory. We can delete it, we can edit it, we can store it. Ako kay memory. Most phones now have 64 gig. How many photos can you store in that? But sa una, in old times, years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they just have the camera film, 24 shots, 30 shots, limited. So what photographers had to do is they have to think before taking the shot. They had to make sure that the shot was perfect. Dili man nimo ma-review imong photo when it's filmed. That made them better. But right now, ang nakalisod is you can take the shot, you can review it later, abate, delete. That's why kita click that and click. But I suggest before you take a photo, think about the composition first. And there are some things we learn about how to compose a good shot. Number one lesson is rule of thirds. I'm sure you have heard about this. If this is the photo, you add a line here, one line here, one line. We divide the photo into three parts. You would want to make sure that your subject ni-align siya sa isa ka linya, either here or either here. And that would make a good shot. Kasi atong ipakita diri is, actually this is me. I did not take this shot, by the way. We're showing ako, katanaw man ko dito, so we have to leave this space blank. That's the rule of thirds. It's the same rule applied here. So, dili man ni siya studio na ato ibutang sentro. We have to show the background. We have to show relationship. That's why we need to place a subject here and dire pod na line. As you can see, I'm following two things here. Ako siyang butang dire na line, ako siyang dito butang dire na line. Actually, that's actually me. Another is background. We have to choose our background too. Background or foreground to show relationship. So if it's in an event, later on, pag pwede na tayo magpatapok kung tao, no? If it's in an event and you are taking photos of your activity, you would want to show relationship by showing foreground and background. In this case, it's very easy to take a picture of our director, Ma'am Nympha, when I'm just standing up. But a slight change of angle, I would go down low, look for people, heads of people, and insert the camera there, and then take the shot. Makita natin our relationship that she is actually explaining to people, talking to people. Eye level siya. That's how foreground works. That's also how background works. So pay attention to your background. Kung saan nasa likod, and pay attention also to what you put in front of your subject, what you put in the foreground. Kasi that would affect the overall composition of your photo. If it's product photography, we would want the background to be plain so that ma-highlight ang product. Alright, let's skip this. Direction. So direction is this. Kung asa gaatubang ang subject, dito na to butangan og space. Kung asa gaatubang ang motorcycle nga drive or ang car, dito niya to butangan og space. If the person is walking towards there, we leave the space in front of him. Otherwise, we can break that rule if you're telling a different story. But in most cases, that's what you would do. So if you see here, I'm facing that direction. The photographer left a space here. Tinana siya ang direction. Because what would happen if dili ang subject, it seems to seem like mahulog ang subject sa photo. Maatak siya dito sa pikas. So you would want to leave a space in front of the subject. It's the same here. This is actually taken with the phone, by the way. Sometimes I bring a camera and a phone just to show the difference between the two and just to show nga good photos can be taken with just your cell phone, what you have. So very simple. The boat is ang bangka gaatubang dito. Ay sorry, diri gaatubang. So I left a space here to show nga padulong siya dito. That's direction. All right. So we learned about how light works, how angles work, and lastly we learned about composition, composing a good photo. Now, equipment. All about equipment. I would say the best equipment is the one you already have right now. But if you would like to upgrade, most phones that are 8,000 and above right now actually have triple camera. Uso na kaya na siya. Cameras right now in cell phones are actually pretty good. 8,000 padulong 12,000, that's a pretty good camera already. No need na to look at specs. Most of the cameras in phones that are 8,000 pesos to 12,000 pesos are really very, very good already. Klaro na na siya kaayo. That's what you call the mid-range. Tulo man na siya kaklase nga phones if you want to know. There's a pangmasa and there's a mid-range and there's an katong flagship level phones. Flagship level phones are overkill. But if you have the budget, you can buy that. But mid-range level phones are already good enough for phone photography. And in any event, you do not need to bring a DSLR. A camera in the phone is already pretty good. But talking about equipment, there are things you can do with your phone actually. If you have not already noticed, you can change the adjustment of the way your phone interprets light. Simply, kanang naipag-click ninyo sa photo na imong gawa sa kilid nga kaning light, ma-slide ninyo up, ma-slide ninyo down. I believe there's a similar feature in every phone. In Huawei, it's like this. In iPhone, it's this. I believe it's the same. If your phone is Xiaomi, it behaves the same way also. So that way, you can pwede ninyo mapa-brighten inyong image, pwede ninyo mapa-darken inyong image. And it works for events and mostly for product photography. If you are putting a white background sa likod sa inyong product, a good thing to do is pahayagon ninyo, medyo i-overexpose ninyo sa gamay para katong white, may mo siyang white na white dude. And then your subject would be exposed properly. I understand nga there are product boxes, katong light box gani in all provinces right now. I believe there are three per province. Am I right? Most of the time, we just take a photo. Dito na, click na tag photo. But a small adjustment you can make is click the subject and then ipa-increase yung brightness and then take the shot. The reason for that being is ang atong phones naka-program na siya nga mo-interpret og light. If ang light is bright ra kaayo, yan ang ipa-darken ang image. So what would happen is if you take a photo sa photo box nga hayag kaayo and then there's a subject there, what would happen is katong iya siyang pangit-ngiton. So the subject would become a bit darker than it should be. And katong white, mahimo siyang gray instead. We do not want that. What we want is the white is really white. So make a small adjustment, click the subject, increase the brightness gamay, and then take the shot. Now, there's a nook here in the office na atay door dire. This is the finale. How to apply this in product photography. There's a door here na ay tawag ani window blinds. Na ay window blinds. I saw something here na siya brown na texture. Then I white nga white na panel. But gubot siya. So what I did, tanggalon ang mga items, open the window blinds, let light in, and then instant na ako'y background for product. I believe asa ka, even if you do not have a light box, you can take a good photo of your product. And the end result here is this. Very simple. Limpyo siya. The light comes from the side. Natay space. Na-apply na to kanan dire. So what are the rules we applied here? We applied number 1, rule of thirds. We put the subject here sa side. Ma-align ta sa isa ka linya. Sa vertical and sa horizontal. Atong background, atong gibutang nga plane. We let light in and we use soft light. This is the finale. And that's all about you need to learn about basic phone photography. Light, angles, composition, gear, and making the best of what you already have. I will now entertain questions if there are any.
Unmute lang sa ganahan mo question.
Question, guys.
Anton, Hope, Anton.
Yes, ma'am.
Question, like events. Then, as a participant, you want to take a photo of the presentation. You're not near enough. What's your suggestion, Ana, using the phone?
Zoom?
If you want to take a photo of the presentation, is the presentation flashed sa isa ka projector screen?
Yes.
Okay. Medyo ano na siya, medyo lisod siya, but there is a setting sa inyong phone. If there is, na siya setting that it would take text. Auto-detect na siya. Most phones would auto-detect if what you are taking a photo of is a landscape, a child, or a text. If mo automatic na siya basa og text, it should take a good photo. But I would suggest nga kung dili ta kapangayo og copy of the presentation, mupaduol ta sa image kay if you zoom it, mawala ang resolution, mawala ang quality, maguba ang quality sa photo. So I would suggest mupaduol mo, take the photo without zooming in, and then mo na siya, you get a clear photo. Or otherwise, we ask for the presentation from the organizer.
Because there are also instances, diba, when you have to document an event and you're not the organizer. For example, ikaw main organizer, they have restrictions for you to go near sa front. So medyo if you just rely sa phone mo, di ba kasi bati kayo ang gawas.
That is the limitation sa phone because ang may tabo with the DSLR optical zoom siya. So ni zoom ang lens jud mismo. But what happens with the phone is ato rang gipagamay ang photo actually. We just zoomed in on the photo. So you lost a lot of pixels katong sa side. So umubo jud ang quality ana niya. That's a limitation sa cellphones.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Ton, Jerome. Kanang mga orbs. Mo sa photo ba? Dagang kay mga kuan.
Orbs?
Kanang
we call that bokeh. There's a term for that. That is called a bokeh. Simple lang na siya. If you're just using a phone, paduol lang mo sa subject, ensure nga ang light is layo kayo sa likod sa subject, and then mo blur lang likod, and if mga gagmay na sila nga lights, automatic manggawas ang mga orbs that you are referring to. We call that bokeh sa photography.
Okay.
Sa DSLR, with a cell phone, it can be done. If you have a cell phone na ay kuan, portrait mode, portrait, may tabuan na usually ang namay mga phones karon na triple camera or na ay dual camera. Ang purpose ana is the phone is made to copy what DSLRs do, which is kitong pina-blur effect sa likod. what we call bokeh. So just use that. I-click lang nimo na picture and then automatic gawas sa mga order.
Okay. Wow, thank you.
Ton.
Yo,
Yes. Unsay mas better nga grade 3x3, 4x4 or golden ratio?
unsa?
Unsay mas better nga grade sa phone 3x3, 4x4 or golden ratio?
Na-use ang tulo ka buok, but gigama na siyang tulo ka buok. The three ratios, the three things, the three grids are made para ma-cater ang tanan photographers. Because most photographers follow katong 3x3. That's what we call the rule of thirds. Ako personally, I follow that. Some photographers follow katong 4x4, depende sa ilang style, and some follow the katong spiral. So, depende na siya sa style of photography you're doing. But for events, for what we do, the product, the 3x3 is good.
Lightroom or Snapseed? Ang mas better.
Daghang I would
the
say
beginner.
I use Lightroom, but nakagamit ko og Snapseed pod. Either of the two is good. Na ma-cater niya ang need nato.
Sige. Thank you.
Question, Reyna Igor. Kanang kuanton, kanang mo white gani ang eyes sa subject. Saon siya pagkuan sa phone?
White ang eyes?
Yes, kanang I think mga night siguro na nga makatulog.
Reflect ang light.
Yes.
Reflect kana.
That happens when we use flash. Wala nagka-sync ang kuan. Kayong mahitabuan na is when we use flash sa phone, ilabi na og gabi and then dili kayo pas ang distance from the flash to the camera. Pag buka sa suga, muhayag ni atong mata. Kaya naman tayo katong na may bangag sa atong mata, di ba? Katong asa ta makakita sa iris. May tabo, mo reflecto siya. And then pag wala sa kuan flash, pag take niya ato, mo gawa siya sa camera. That's difficult na natantangon. Dili na siya ma-control. So what you have to do is just take the photo again.
Okay, thank you, Ton.
Ton,
Yo.
and si Bindoy. Different sa ay kanang ganing sa square o sa photo ba?
Ha?
Kanang sa square gani, kanang sa iPhone naman ay square og naman ay photo. Ang ni matter ba ana isang size lang?
Gets ko sa aspect ratio sa photo, kaya di ba na ay vertical,
na square,
rectangle, na ay square.
Okay
na siya, ang gibuhat ana is iyang gi-crop ang kuan, ang top portion. But resolution wise, taas ra pa na siya resolution.
Okay.
I'd like to add lang di ay when taking product photos, I'm sure magbuhat ani soon for the global linker. Ensure lang wala dito mag-follow og rule of thirds ani. We just want to put the subject sa center sa ato ang image. Kaya nga atong ipakita, i-post mo gani siya sa Lazada. So it has to be naa sa sentro. There are times mo siya ibutang sa kilid, but most of the time, put it at the center. Yep, any questions?
Gamit ka ni iPhone, Ton?
Ma'am?
iPhone.
Yes.
Kani ba yung iPhone? Daghan ba doon siya mga pislit-pislit, di ba? Na siya lain-lain color, na siya, unsa na siya, ka na? Kanang na murag moon. Kani. Kana. Kita ba? Kana mo na. Kana siya.
Yes. Ano na siya? That's what we use to play with the color. It differs from phone to phone, but makita word is the same. Gitawag na siya pareho, contrast. Usually ang atong phones are made to take a picture, medyo flat ang profile, medyo kabantay mo ang colors, medyo dull. Dali ra na siya, inora increase ang contrast. So usually ako sa una mogamit pa ko og Snapseed and Lightroom. But right now when I do phone photography, pwede ra siya og phone na ditso, wala na kay kuan, wala na edit. You just have to increase the contrast. Makita ninyo na siya sa settings. Kung sa iPhone, kanang giingon ni Ma'am Nanette, ino na siyang i-increase. It's either called saturation or contrast. Tawagin lang ninyo a factor of 3 to 5. Minimal lang. Just enough nga dili kayo siya oversaturated. If you have seen other photos, the blue kay na blown out, blue kayo siya. The green kay mura siyang nahimong neon green. Don't do that. Gamay lang. 3 to 5 sa contrast and maybe 3 to 5 sa saturation.
Tapos si shadow.
Yes.
Na si shadow, na siya highlight. Sana siya? Brilliance.
Okay. Sige.
Shadow.
Contrast is ang difference between katong the brightest point sa photo and katong darkest. If ato na siyang i-increase, kanang gap ana would ma-expand siya. Because usually what happens is ang inyong phone, iyang i-take ang flat profile. Gamay ra ang diferensya sa light, pinakahayagan na part and pinaka-dark na part. If you increase the contrast, katong mga dark na parts would become darker, katong mga hayag na parts would become lighter, mas mahayag siya. That's what contrast does. Another is ang saturation. That has to do with color. So what happens is the blue would become bluer, ang green would become greener, ang yellow would become yellower. You would not want to do that in product photography because it would become deceptive. The client, the customer would expect in atong a color sa item, but pag abot, medyo dull ang color. So don't increase saturation. You may increase the contrast. Saturation, ayaw lang kay hilabti. Shadows, if you increase the shadows, patason ninyo or increase na slider, kato lang dark na parts ang ma-adjust. Either ang dark na parts mo hayag or mas mungit-ngit. If you adjust the highlights, either ang katurang hayag na part po ang mahilabtan. Mas mahimo siya mas hayag or mas mungit-ngit siya. So that's mura na siyang upat. Contrast, ang katong duha iyang i-change. Saturation, it changes the color. Ang shadows, just the dark parts iyang i-control. Highlights, just the light parts iyang i-control. So for phone photography, if naamo ana nga setting, but I believe that's wala na siya sa tanang phones. If you can control the highlights, ang highlights lang inyong increase. So that ang katong white lang ang mahilabtan. The white would become puti good, puti siya kayo.
Kaning black point, what's that?
Ma'am?
Black point. Black point. Black. Color black.
Black point. Black point. I-try siya og slide. That's a new term sa iPhone. That's not used actually sa kuan. But I would I deduce nga ano na siya. Ang balance na siya sa imuhang photo ba. If you increase the black point, medyo brighter ang whole image. Mura siya mo transparent siya ba? Mura mo grayish siya.
Napoy tint. Gana ani mo na malibog ko ani. Tint, sharpness, definition, vignette.
Okay. Sharpness is kamantay mo sa kilid sa kuan, sa subject. Usahay ano na siya, soft. But if you increase the sharpness, murag nag iyang i-chisel, iyang ipa-sharpen.
Harsh light.
Muhait siya. So kung nakay bugas, imong gi-increase ang sharpness, don't do that. May tabo is maklaro ang imong mga bugas, ang gawas. What you want to do is decrease the sharpness. So mo soft siya. Mo soft imong face. So that's what ang katong Oppo and Vivo does. So if you only mo ang beautify, it just makes the photo softer. So nawala tong imong kuan, mga ano sa nawo blemishes. So like this. If I increase the sharpness, maklaro ni siya. If I decrease the sharpness, mawala ni siya. Tint, don't ayara siya i-change. Tint, either ano man na siya, mo green siya or mo reddish ang photo. That can be used for creative photography.
Green or reddish din ang tint? Green or reddish din na siya?
Ang tint slider man na siya.
Kanang definition, unsa man na siya? What's the difference between sharpness and definition?
That's an iPhone thing. Most
cameras. Noise reduction. Unsa pa ng noise reduction?
Okay, noise reduction. If you take a photo sa gabi, ang mahitabo is grainy ang ato ang photo. Mahitabo ana is daghang dots. I believe naka-notice mo ana, daghang grainy siya. Huwag siya balas. Noise reduction is if imo siyang increase ang slider, iyang ipa-soft ang image so that katong noise medyo mawala siya. But what happens, ang musuffer is ang image quality. Ang katong lines, mo-softer siya.
Panggabi rin siya.
Yes, panggabi na
Noise
siya.
reduction.
So if I would say nga if good ra ang light, you do not need to change anything lang sa phone. The noise reduction, sharpness, you can keep that constant lang. But if gabi, you can explore with all the settings.
Okay. Yeah. Dagkan magungkuan sa iPhone. Ako'y vivid.
Features iPhone, ma'am.
Dagkan siya mga kisi-kisi. Nasa'y vivid, nasa'y warm, nasa'y cool.
Lightroom anymore.
Diba? Yeah.
Napala siya filter.
So for product photography using the photo box. The advantages of using the photo box.
Yes. Ang gitagaan tag photo box karon sa sa 4 ka provinces. I would say nga dili nato kailangan mogamit og camera. It's better if you use a camera, a professional camera para sharp lang kay images. But the phone can actually go so far. Kato ang giingon kanina, you just have to increase your highlights para ang white would become very white. And also is kailangan na nato nga i-increase pud ang brightness para ang subject dili siya ma-underexpose. So that's two terms. I did not want to bring these two terms, but underexposed is if ang image is darker than you want it to be. Overexposed if it's brighter than you would want it to be, than you need it to be. So ma-overexpose siya if ang katong mga white magasunog na siya ba, puti na siya kayo, wala na siya naguba na ang detail. Underexposed kung nangitom na ang tibuok subject. Kailangan tumahit ang balance na i-increase na ito ang brightness, not to the point na ma-overexpose siya or masunog ang subject, but just to the point na it would be properly exposed and that the background would become whiter than katong gray na usually makita nato. Now, sorry. I'll show you something. If you notice, kanina image, there's something you can improve pa. Kanina diri na part, gray pa siya. But it's already a good image. But if ibutang nimo na siya sa photo box, control nimo ang light. It's all white. Kani siya would become white. So ang goal ani is kani siyang colors, puti gini siya tanan. Puti ang color diri pero if imo na siya ibutang, ibangga nimo sa white to white, this is really just somewhere grayish. So advantage of using a phone sa ato ang photo box, a partner, is because it's quick, easy. You just have to know the right setting. Timpla-timpla lang. So again, use the same principle. Don't take the shot. Wait 10 seconds first. Explore sa settings, explore sa tanan, the contrast, the sharpness, maybe sa exposure, the highlights, and then take the shot.
Mag-set the tadaan before we take the shot?
For some phones,
we take the shot and then we dula-dula?
Na two ways. Usually sa atong camera, sa iPhone, na itay settings daan. Katumama, kaning na beauty effects, na mga effects. You can play around with that first. And then kung mano, take the shot. Another way of doing it is take the shot lang. Just make sure that the composition is right. Na-align niyo ang photo. And then take the shot. Then you can edit it in, as Sir Adonis said, either sa Snapseed or sa Lightroom. If you are already in Snapseed and Lightroom, two settings lang you need to adjust. Increase gamay ang exposure, maybe 0.5. I'm sure you're familiar with that. And then increase gamay ang contrast. Kana lang, two settings, and then the photo would become amazing.
Ito, contrast and
exposure.
Contrast and exposure.
If you're using a photo box, with that, limpyo na inyong shot.
Pag ito na exposure?
It's the brightness of the image. Ma-increase niya ang kayagon. And then if you want to take it a step further, ang highlights, i-increase good siya. But dili na to na siya mabuhat if ang item na ay white na part. For example, most labels na naa sa packaging na ay white na part. If you increase the highlights, kato nga part mo, puti kayo siya mag-glow ba. So if there's a white part sa inyong image, don't do that. In this case, pwede na ninyo buhaton. Kaya wala may white dire sa image.
Ton, question Ton. Jude from Paul. Ton, unsa nang mirrorless camera?
Mirrorless camera. Okay. A mirrorless camera is duha ra na ay teka. Hold on. Actually brought my camera here. A mirror, most DSLRs have a mirror. A mirror is when you look at the hole, peep mo sa hole, mubanda na siya sa mirror which is inside the camera and then down to padulong sa lens. Kana siya nga part, that mechanism takes a lot of space. That's the reason why most DSLRs are big. A mirrorless camera does not have that feature. Instead of the mirror, it uses a digital viewfinder. So what you see here is actually the same thing masini mo sa LCD screen. It's like an LCD screen or a LED screen na gibutang sa isa ka tiny hole. So, with that mechanism, a mirrorless camera, take away na siya nga feature, mugamay ang form factor niya. So, like this. It's a DSLR katong with a mirror, dako siya. But the resolution, the quality of the photo is the same for mirrorless and katong DSLRs with a mirror. So a mirrorless camera is like this. Inside the camera is a sensor. So muna siya. That's the sensor. If there is a mirror, napanaygatapon diha. Nga mo click every time you take the photo. And that is why katong cameras with a mirror is actually medyo noisy siya. A mirrorless is quiet. So that's the difference.
But sa mga photographers, sa may ila preference? Kaya mo na mag-traditional na mirror.
Yeah.
Mirror full.
Depende. Most photographers right now, katong professional photographers, still use the big cameras. Kaya na, right now, duha nakabuok, I would say, categories sa camera na ay mirrorless and na ay cameras with mirror. But both types, daghang mga models ana. And then both types na sila yung mga ano. But if you are a trapid photographer, you would prefer a camera that is light, so a mirrorless. But if it's studio photography, stationary lang naman, mo prefer mo og katong cameras nga ano lang with a mirror. Price-wise, mirrorless cameras would be a bit expensive than its counterparts sa cameras nga with the mirror. Kaya mas mahal man ang mechanism sa digital viewfinder than just the mechanical mirror. But one thing to note also is the mirror, maguba na siya usually around 100,000 to 150,000 shots for cameras with a mirror. So kung into sports photography pud ka, sika click, clack, medyo maguba gina siya, ililisan na siya nga feature. But depende na siya. You can use a mirrorless camera, you can use a camera with a mirror. Depende siya sa inyong ganahan. Kung ganan mong light, use the mirrorless. If you don't care about the weight, you care about the price, you can get a camera with a mirror.
Okay.
Ang bridge o mirrorless ba? The same na sila?
Bridge and mirrorless. Different na po na siya. Laing category sad ang bridge na camera. A bridge camera behaves if nakaabot mo katong sa una digital camera lang gani katong gamay puro ra siya cellphone kadako. The bridge camera is somewhere in between atong digital na camera sa una and the mirrorless. So murag marry ra niya ang duha. But what it does not have sa usa ka bridge is the feature na maka-change ka og lens. All mirrorless cameras, you can change a lens with another lens, much like a DSLR nga naay mirror. But a bridge, most bridge cameras in that category, dili ka ka-ilis sa lens. Fixed siya. And the sensor is also smaller. If the sensor is smaller, then lower ang quality sa image that you get than if it were a big sensor.
Ton, another question, Ton.
Yo.
Kanang ito sa camera, Ton, ay function. Kanang ISO sa setting, Rasa siya.
ISO. The
Yeah.
ISO is the way your phone interprets light. If atong increase ang ISO, iyang i-brighten. Ang effect is iyang i-brighten ang image. But the trade-off is na yung mga grain nga mo gawas sa imuhang image. Kaya mag-boost ang brightness. So it could become a bit grainy. If you decrease the ISO, mungit-ngit ang imuhang image pod. But ang effect pod, mas mo cleaner, mas mo limpyo ang imuhang image.
Okay.
By the way, the question is for mobile photography or for the DSLR or mirrorless?
Mirrorless.
Mirrorless. Okay, that's good. Same, that's my answer. Kung sa mobile photography, medyo lahi ang behavior, kay mo automatic magud siya. If mo increase ang ISO, bawion pod sa ubang settings. Okay, that's my answer.
Ton, Rina na sad. Kanang sa iPhone, familiar ka? Kanang HDR, ano sa use na niya?
I would suggest you don't use that. Just kidding. HDR is, ang mahitabo sa image is, teka ha. I think I have a sample. No, I don't have. HDR is high definitive range, high dynamic range na photo. So in a photo, natay pinakahayagan nga part, then natay pinaka-dark na part. So this is a shadow. If atong iwan ang HDR, kaning shadow na part, see this in the pedicab, mas mohayag ni siya. And if there are parts na hayag kaayo, iyang pangit-ngiton. Now the effect there is mura siya mo similar siya to what our eyes see. Atong mata is actually taas kini siya og dynamic range. Mas taas siya dynamic range than cameras we have created now. If you turn on the HDR, ang may tabo is mura na siya. The dark, mahayag siya, mga hayag na parts, pangit-ngiton niya. So if you mo siya gamiton sa landscape, you're taking a photo sa landscape, puno ang colors. Gwapo siya. But dili nimo na siya kailangan gamiton when you are indoors. And when you are doing product photography.
Okay, Ton, kanang follow-up question. Asay mas kung di lang siya for photography lang nga phone, unsay mong ma-advise nga phone nga maayo? I mean brand or something ana.
I have a bias sa Huawei. But an iPhone is good if you have the budget. If wala naman, you're looking for a mid-range phone, Huawei is good, Xiaomi is good, and another is Samsung is also good. Samsung is more on the high-end or flagship level na mga phones. But any brand is actually good. But kung value for money inyong ginapangita, you are on a tight budget, I suggest you explore Xiaomi. I think you're familiar with that brand. Xiaomi is one.
Xiaomi?
Xiaomi and Huawei is more
Xiaomi.
expensive. Xiaomi is cheaper. It's a relatively new na Chinese phone. I think they opened 2014 if I'm not wrong, 2014 or 13. But ang ilang phones are pretty good right now. Ang cameras are also good. And kana siya kung if you are on a budget. But if you have more, you go for Samsung or Huawei.
Nakay specific nga unit or something nga kuan kanang direct unit gud ba?
Unit good.
Oh, unit gud. Basig na plans.
Okay, ako gapalit ko Huawei Nova 5T. It's the last Huawei phone na ay Google. And I bought it because triple A ang camera. It's already a good camera. Muna na akong ginadala, usually tigdala sa ako ang mirrorless. When I'm at work, take photos anywhere. If it's not professional, for social media lang naman, I use this. Shout out sa mga Nova 5T si Michael. Yeah, we use a Nova 5T here in Negros Oriental. I think 5 of us have it.
For product shots?
Ha?
For product shots?
For anywhere, ma'am. Kung ma-take mig events sa take mig photos sa mga activities
So,
sa
ay na siya di ay.
or sa product shots, yes.
Share lang. Wala kayo share. I'm using Gcam sa akong phone and it's way better than the stock camera app sa kanang mga kuan
Good
ba.
suggestion, yes.
Yes, that's why I'm
Okay,
using
Gcam. Saan na siya doon?
kuan na siya ma'am kanang camera application sa Google Pixel. Yeah, na may mga ipang-download na sa internet nga pwede nimo ma-install sa imuhang phone ba. Pwede nimo work sa imong phone. So I'm using it kay mas better magud siya compared sa kanang sa stock camera apps sa akong phone ba. And it takes better pictures, Jude. So mas maayo siya. If ever maka-install mo ana, mas better.
You take a picture and then you process the picture using the Gcam app?
Ang Gcam Jude imong gamiton nga camera app, ma'am.
Okay. All
Imo siya
right.
install.
Yeah.
Na question
Okay,
pala diri
yeah.
in the chat. Pa-explain gamay about aperture. Okay. Aperture is it's ang size sa bangag sa imuhang camera. Na siya aperture, na siya mga blades. What happens is okay, this is nerdy talk. If we increase the aperture, ang value ana is f, naka-f na siya, f2.8, f3.5, f8, f11. If the value is taas, mahitabo mo gamay ang hole sa aperture. What happens is kaning front and the background are both in focus. But if padako na siya, ang value sa f paggamit nimo, let's say f2.8, f1.8, magkadako ang hole sa camera. What happens is malahi ang behavior sa image. What happens is ang usang imong gi-focus is in focus and ang likod is naka-blur. And that's how ang bokeh, which we talked about kanina, happens. Kaya ang iyang ma-focus, usara kakuan. Ang depth of field niya is mahimo siyang shallow. Ako ra ma-focus, ma-blur ang likod. So I believe katong kaninang photo ni Kemp, blur ang likod because the aperture of that is low ang value. Yeah, I think I answered the question.
Ton, naki-question ton.
Go.
In relation sa depth of field sa at aperture, di ba wala man na nga option sa mga karaan nga mga cellphone, no?
Wala.
Oo. But if photography sa products na to, kuan ba? Recommended ba nga na atay depth of field or okay ra nga wala?
Okay ra siya wala because anyway it will be posted in social media, but if gamiton na siya for print for kailangan na kita og professional camera or DSLR. But if it's just for social media pang out lang, pwede na siya wala na feature. Also, ayaw ipa-blur ang likod sa imuhang subject kay mahitabo ayaw i-f 2.8 or 1.8 kay mahitabo kanina image in focus nino kanin diri sa likod na part dili na siya in focus, so na siya dili na klaro ang imuhang features sa imuhang product. So for product photography, it's advisable nga ato ra siya sa normal range, dili lang siya hilabtan.
Abaton, additional question about ang mga latest versions karon kanang na multiple nga camera, multiple lenses nga camera nga phones, yes. Kay stimulate mo na siya og kuano kanang depth of field, ma-turn off na nato?
Yes, ma-turn off na siya. Ang kuan actually pwede na siya katong dual cam, triple cam imong pasabot siya.
Oo.
Yes.
Okay, automatic man gud siya na nagtan-aw ko sa phone karon sa akong mother na may triple cam siya, mo automatic siya nga mo himo og depth of field. Ako gipangita paagi nga matkuan pero di pa kay ko hanas basi na array option pero posible ba na tangtangon?
Yes, ma-turn off na siya ang depth of field niya or ang aperture kay pwede na siyang isa camera utilize. Usually kung makakita na siya og nawong man good, ang buhaton sa phone nimo is iyaha siyang ipa-blur ang likod. So iyang gamiton ang duha. 1, 2. But ang depth of field and the aperture are two different things. The aperture is ang iya usbon, ang katug yung behavior sa usa ka camera. Ang katong depth of field na feature is duha iyang gamiton para ma-create ang same effect as what DSLRs do. Pero ang gawas niya na image, endpoint image, is pretty similar. Blur ang likod. But that feature can be turned off. Yes.
Thank you.
Ton, na quick question. Since we are now into digital, sorry, my dogs are very saba. But since we'll be using more of digital kuana karon dili naman ta mag-print. So sa atong like kanang atong i-post sa atong mga MSME sa atong digital platforms. Do we for purposes siguro pod of kay ang usage bitaw sa storage or ang I don't know naabay mga limitations ang atong mga platforms to how huge the photo file should be manginana bitaw. So unsay best na nga murag without kanang compromising the quality unya at the same time dili sad kaayo siya dako og usage siguro sa iyahang like the file size. The file size. So unsa imong masuggest nga murag best kuan niya the same thing quality gyapon ang photo but without compromising the without also using the kuan nga dako kaayo siya nga file.
Okay. Megapixels na siya ang atong tawag ana. Most new phones karon na ay sila feature nga 48 megapixels. There's even a phone nga 100 megapixels. Kaning the higher megapixels na mga photos is only usable or good if imo siyang i-print og dako kaayo nga tarpaulin, billboard size. A 48 megapixel or 100 megapixel photo is pwede na siya pang billboard. If it is just for social media, 8, 12, and 16 megapixels is already good enough. If naka 12 megapixel ka na camera, usually it just takes 3 megabytes sa space. So that means nga if you have in 1 gig, you already have 333 photos. Now, most phones karon is 64 gig ang minimum. So you already have 21,000 photos. So a 12 megapixel photo is good enough kung gusto ta mag-product photography just for social media uploading.
Okay. So that's good enough. Thanks.
Anton, asa na makita ng pila ka megapixels na atong camera sa phone?
Yeah.
Asa na makitaan?
Click the camera, if there's sa taas upper right corner, there's a setting button diha. Imo na siya i-click and there's a resolution there. Makabuot mo ana usually.
Asa i-click? Ha? Unsa to?
If na may makita sa inyong phone na murag gear gani og itsura, i-click niyo na siya, that's the setting.
Ha?
Na gear, na
settings. Yeah, settings na.
Na resolution diha.
Some phones resolution have a picture na photos. Ang naadiri sa settings sa photos ko. So ato ko sa camera akong camera di ay.
You open a camera app.
Yeah.
And then,
okay. Yeah. And then unsa man ni siyang record video 1080p. Mao ni siya ang megapixels.
Ang 1080p is the resolution naman for the video.
For the video ni siya.
For the video na siya.
Ang camera asa man?
Na ay wala tayo makita diha na kuan, megapixel na part. Some phones
wala siya.
Okay, maybe wala sa setting. Some phones kay mo default lang siya to what it was made for. But naay uban phones katong ubang phones nga maka-change ka sa megapixel, but na ibang phones sad na dili nimo siya ma-change.
Ang iyang camera capture dire is high efficiency ug most compatible. So unsa may angay ani? High efficiency?
Unsa to ma'am? High efficiency and
asa na ba to? Formats ko na nantaw. Most compatible. Para ni sa reduce file size. Capture photos and videos on high efficiency.
Yes. Kana. If you want to save storage space, kana siya. Gamita siya ng feature.
Then, most compatible will always use JPEG at 60 FPS. 1080 megapixels.
Sa video na siya ma'am, setting.
No, camera capture may nakabutang.
60 FPS is refers to video, meaning 60 frames per second ang butang
pero ang nakabutang dire 1080p. So walay kuan dire sa kuan. Ingka nang imong giingon nga megapixels.
I'm not familiar sa setting di ma'am, but maybe wala lang siya nga feature kay most phones wala man gyud na siya. I think ang mga Chinese phones karon ang katong maka-change ka og megapixel.
Okay.
And DSLRs also can change sa megapixel.
Pero naa dire HDR, smart HDR.
iPhone ano?
Yes,
iPhone?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Nagatanan bila ako.
HDR to atong i-explain kanina nga HDR.
Akong gipangita.
So i-off na to i-off ni sa tanawa kon.
So i-off ning smart
HDR. I-off na.
I-off.
Kita ba? Asan yung kameraan?
Smart HDR.
Yeah. I-on or off?
Ang buhaton ana is kung mogawas mo sa lugar na ay mga hayag kayo nga parts, na ay mga ngit-ngit po kaayo, siya na mag-decide for you.
So i-on gud siya.
Dapat pwede na siya i-on, but kung gabuhat ta og product photography, turn that off.
Ano ba? Ano naman?
Pang outside na niton.
Yes.
Pang outside na din siya.
Anong
so kung
kuan kaayo.
Anong po siya keep normal photo? So dapat na siya.
If you click ng keep normal photo, naka-on yung inyong kuan, smart HDR, duha na iya i-save the original photo and the HDR photo.
Okay.
So pwede na siya ma'am, i-turn on lang siya nimo.
Siya na'y bahala.
I-off.
Siya na'y bahala.
Katong photo, o sara, katong HDR iya i-keep.
Kani, na-grid. Isa man po na, kato ni mga square? Grid.
Yes, that's the one.
Kasi gamit na niya. Rule of thirds?
Yes.
Law of thirds na siya na.
Law of thirds. Naay question diri, if product nga naay mga plastic case na reflective, unsaon pag-capture na dili ma-reflect ang light? Now, that's a good question, but also a hard question to answer. So simple lang. Kung natas product box na amo na isuga, di ba? Our product box came with katong usa ka cloth. I-install lang to siya katong cloth. Now, if dili japon siya mawala tong reflection, take the image from up top. Na ipahigda ang katong imuhang product. Kaya usually ang mo capture man siya, pangita lang og angle nga.
Na ako yung question na related ana, mga food na no?
Food, yes.
Okay. Dita, di ba, mga chicharon. Atong picture ng chicharon nga nasulod sa plastic. Asa mo gay maayo ana sa product shop? Di ba dapat i-open yun na to, ipagawas yun itong chicharon?
Yes.
Naa siya dito, whatever. Spread.
Product presentation siguro.
Ang presentation
product
ba?
presentation.
Kung ganang isulod sa plastic, my God, maglami kay packaging, bati ra ba po?
Tapare og suka.
Tapara ng suka. Di ba may mga inana?
Diri sa
ibutang nimo og platito.
Tulo ka photos lang, minimum of 3 photos ang need. One is the product is in the packaging. One is ino siyang abrihan, ibutang niya siya context. If chicharon siya na isuka, mo to ang ingon. If it's peanut butter, tapadan og bread. If it's ginamos, parisan pud nimo kuan, saging siguro. Para lang makita ang unsa na siya. If it's a coaster,
usage.
Patong pud nimo ang baso. So I would suggest nga i-open yun ang katong product. So since we are doing ito sa global linker karon, if it's food, maybe the MSME can agree nga ang openan og ubang samples ang iyang products. That's for product presentation.
Yes.
Kay taas na siya og impact kay sa atong nara siya sa plastic.
Yes.
Para may balaan unsay gamit niya.
Yes.
But also take a photo nga naa siya sa plastic just so kabalo ang customer what.
Of course, may packaging. Yeah.
Pwede man ipaluyo sa katong product presentation, iluyo, ibutang itapad ra itong naa siya sa plastic. Para makita ang product.
Nag-invite ko? Unsa man? Nag-invite ko nimo?
Please.
Drama lagi, wa mo ko nang hilabot ron ate.
Kinsa ron?
Karon.
Kinsa man ron.
Kani. Si Anne-Marie.
Si Anne-Marie. Mute sana si Anne-Marie. Sige, unsa pa question? Asay masami, Samsung or iPhone?
Ha?
Asay mas maayo sa camera, cellphone or iPhone? iPhone or Samsung?
There's no definitive answer. See, both are good in their own right.
Kapantay ko sa Samsung ro, vivid kay siya, no?
Yes, kaysa setting
Vivid.
niya. But mainly tungod pud siya sa iyahang screen. The way the screen behaves pod affects how you see the photo. But most photographers, they would want nga mag-edit sila photo, they have 4 screens. One is LED, one is LCD, one is IPS, one is another. Para they would know how the photo behaves in different screens. So sa Samsung manggod, it's AMOLED. Most flagship phones AMOLED. Katong mga green and blue, mo ano gud siya, saturated siya ba? Most iPhones sa katong sa una, IPS LCD. So if you're a photographer, you would want an iPhone kasi naka-IPS screen siya. The colors are real. Yung siya i-print, duol siya o rendition. The screen and katong sa print mo pareho siya og gawa. Ang sa Samsung medyo saturated siya, but so when you print it, mo balik sa yung original rendition ang photo, so mawala ang saturation.
So kaning kuan pud doon, kanang when we transfer photos, some people tell me don't put photos, use Messenger to kuan photos mo degrade kuno. Ano mo degrade, it's just a file.
Because right now ang Messenger is nag-ano na sila, mag-apply sila og kanang storage saving. So when you send a photo via Messenger, iyan ang pagamyon ang resolution. So we talked about kanina, example, ang photos resolution is 4,000 by 3,000 pixels. When you upload it in Facebook, yan na siyang i-cut down. Yan himoong 2,000 by 1,500 ba, or maybe even lower. So that saves them space sa ilahang server. Kay kada upload nimo, shoot man na siya dito.
Yeah. Sa ilang cloud. Yeah.
So that's why I said it's important to know the limit.
So that's why when we send photos, it is better sa Google Drive na to siya i-send.
Google Drive, i-upload ra. Okay. All right. Sige, any more questions, guys?
Nakoy pangutana, nakoy question. Don.
Yes.
Yeah. You mentioned na may naabtan nako nga dili i-blur ang iyang likod, etc. Kay sa background sa kaning sa iPhone man god naman siya photo or portrait. So asa may mas maayo?
Ang portrait
he mentioned magug kaninang
for product photography, yes, ayaw gamita ang katong blur na feature. Kay what would happen is ang product nimo na ay mga parts nga mo soft. Use the portrait feature only for people. And maybe items nga ganahan ka mo blur ang likod. But there's another thing pod. Maybe there's a way magud karon nga dili nato gamiton ang light box. For example, ang atong product is chinelas. So gusto ta ibutang siya sa sagput gyud or maybe sa somewhere outside, outdoors. And we go down low level sa chinelas. Maybe you can use the portrait mode kung basahon niya, mahitabo blur ang katong likod para ma-focus is just the slippers. But use that wisely lang, dili kayo siya gamiton sige. Most of the time, for product photography, ayaw rin gamita ang portrait mode. Pagkato lang photo.
Portrait mo din ang portrait, blur din ang background na niya.
Blur na siya.
Yeah, if focus naman niya ang subject naman niya i-focus niya ang background mo kuan. Ang purpose man gud pod kanang AF lock ton. Para raman na siya kung naay panalitan ng iyang background is panalitan hangin or leaves whatever. Para dili mo ma-distorted ang imong pag-take og picture, mas maayo ba AF lock?
AF lock is kung unsa ang distance nga una nang na-focus, mao to iya i-picture even if the subject moves forward or background or sa backward. So mulak siya dito ba?
So mas maayo kay especially katong mention kag chinelas. Para mas maayo to para ang subject unya kanayang background maglihok-lihok dili ma-distorted. So it's better to AF lock on the product.
Para ito ra siya kay maglibog na ang camera mo detect siya sa likod sa mga dahon.
Yeah, mauso magud ma-distorted siya, malibog ang camera. And then napay last question ako ton. Kada laging musahay mo yun siya, can you give me a high res? Ay kay ang imong picture low res. Unsa may kinahanglan buhaton namo para ma-high res siya? Take og picture.
Sa Messenger na siya gi-send, ma'am?
Yeah, among gi-send sa Messenger ang picture.
Na-degrade.
Ma-degrade yun na siya, ma'am, if it's Messenger. So if the other party is asking for a high-res photo, I suggest nga i-upload it to Google Drive and send that person a link or send it via Gmail. Okay, para dili
Pero how will you know? Pero how will you know kanang picture nga imong i-send through email is a high res?
Automatic na siya, ma'am. When you take a photo sa imong phone, high res na siya daan. But if mo siya kawagi sa email, yan ang i-keep the same quality. Mapa-email or drive. If it's Messenger and social media apps, ilan mo nang i-program nga pamubon ang quality because there's a very big volume of photos being sent back and forth. So, to save space, ilan na siyang pamabon ang resolution.
Kung ano man kanibang na ako, gagamit ko rin iPhone kanina sa portrait, nalagyan niya siya mga line light na ay natural light, na ay studio light. Sama po din sila mga butanga na ay mga klase nga light.
That's an advanced feature. I think unique to
na ay contour light. Saan na siya? Naapoy stage light.
Ano na siya, ma'am? That's for advanced photography na if you want to lain siya og behavior. When you mentioned
portrait na po siya mo gawas.
Contour is kung picture ka og tawo, i-on ang contour, ang kanang contour gani sa nawong. Yan ang magpasugaan niya ba. Example, hayag kayo sa gawas, itong nandiri. Imo i-on ang contour, yan ang pahayagon.
Kaning portrait, automatic yun siya nga mo-focus sa nawong.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right. Sabot na ko.
I'll answer a question na lang ha sa chat. Pwede maka-request na sana po speaker ng phone. If product na naay mga plastic case na reflective ata po sa DNA. Yeah, I think na-answer na tanan. Any more questions?
Pwede rami manawag nimo if ever nami napandol mi sa ipaglakaw namo nya nahinomdom ko unsay question.
Sure, you can chat me or call me or sama. I'll reply na ako.
Sige.
Anyway, I can post some links, helpful links to learn more about advanced techniques. And what we learned today is ang katong pinaka-basics, which muna siya ang katong foundational na mga concepts. It's all about light, the angles, and katong composition. Foundational ni siya. Now, there are mga lessons which are medyo advanced o focus siya on a particular equipment, maybe using the iPhone for photography or using the Samsung for Huawei. Or maybe specific to guys siya for product photography good. So for those lessons, I can probably post some helpful links which are in YouTube, which I have also watched personally when I began sa product photography. Is that good?
Yeah. Where can we get a copy of this? Pwede i-post na to na yung recording namin somewhere.
Ma'am?
I missed a segment. Can I somebody call ganiha? Where can asa na to may access ang recording the video?
Ato upload sa I think in the same folder sa Digitalks. Okay ra no?
Asa dapit? Nasa Digitalk folder.
Mantos Christian.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, naata din. Naasa dito atong CSF forms.
Can you tell people where it is? And I have.
Yes, post ramig link later sa kuan, ma'am, after sa evaluation.
Magama pa ta. Okay.
Maybe if it's good lang, if we can use the last minutes of our time, maybe post something you would like to learn about related to photography, maybe an advanced technique, or maybe it's a nature photography or specific product ba. I-chat lang ninyo dire just so I know unsay kuan ba gusto ninyo ma-learn in the future. Base di ay we can have another run for a more advanced topic. Or na ba evaluation?
Yes, na-evaluation.
Dito lang ibutang where I can see your response.
Can you post again the link? Nawala na.
Sige, ma'am. So, mas kinakabuhat si Christian sa link.
Okay. So, we just post the link after.
From Mr. Nina
Bianca. Where is the chat group where everybody is? Katong work from home?
Yes, ma'am. For the region to. And then for the na-post na ba diri sa group chat earlier, nanawa man kayo na-cover sa conversation. Sa region, ako lang gi-post. Maybe for the provinces, ako lang ihatag siguro sa mga HR counterparts. And then sila lang disseminate sa katong nagkatan.
Na last question diri. Unsay ma-recommend na app na gamiton for enhancing photos? I use a Lightroom, but Snapseed is also good. Either of those two apps, daghan mong ma-edit. But I suggest i-explore sa ninyo, and maybe if we have time sa sunod, pwede siguro na siya gahinan og time na magamit how to use the app na pod siguro sunod. Okay?
Snapseed. Ang Canva is for
social media, graphic.
Social media.
Snapseed is just editing the photos. Timpla lang. Okay. Timpla. Also Lightroom. But Snapseed na siya feature, maka-add ka text actually. So mura siya sagol sa Lightroom and sa
Canva. Na ako, ana. Okay. Unsa pa? So how did you find this, guys?
Another session. Kinamang iuban ni text na ko directly na ko ba? Wa gi-post.
Ha? Unsa to dyan? Hello? Naputol? Naputol?
Si Joanna,
nawala si Joanna?
And then,
sige,
maybe another series, like, namo ko yung mga ma-receive na text, like, siguro sa next session, mga iPhone series daw, mga differentiation nila, and then, compared sa other brands na phone.
Okay, pwede.
Sige.
Maybe pwede ko naman tayo evaluation after no? Ipang lang siguro yung mga request ng mga topics na nato siya which we can provide.
Kanina ba? Yeah. So, after that, can we have some sort of an activity ba? At assuming nga ganan tong photography. So, what sort of exercise, like, okay, go out there and take a picture, and then, ano ba?
Yes, ma'am.
How do we do that, Ton?
Itong captures ni Anton ba, nga naon.
And then, somebody comments, wala ni siya nakuha sa rule of third, no, kani siya, naunsa ni siya, kani siya, crack yung camera. Whatever.
I think, pwede.
It could be an activity para natay.
Even kaning camera sa luyo, no? I mean, you have to clean this kayo nani siya smudge, di ba? That will also affect the di ba? Kaning imong camera diri. Ug nani imong hiccup, na smudge, ma-affect na siya sa imong quality of your picture.
Unsa to, ma'am? Ang camera na scratch?
Smudge.
Oh, affect siya.
So you have to make sure. Bagay mo one. Actually, there was a smudge in your corner the eye lens. Ako na nabantayan ton kalas og battery ning camera sa phone.
Yes.
Kasi siya on, di siya mo off. Okay. Mira ton, unsa kay mga exercise and people can,
maybe an option is we can come up with a group siguro, and then where people can post their photos, and then I can comment, maybe some other photographer friends comment para mag-improve sa tanan. Is that good?
Yeah. Nice idea. What do you think, guys, people in this room.
Actual activity. The actual DTI activity.
Ano lang siya?
Sample ba?
Actual.
Dapat actual DTI activity.
Nakadi man nakagawa sa
field.
DJ. Ato
Adi
na tayo
dapat
ito, mag-picture-picture ka sa mga taong lakaw-lakaw, das ICQ. Yan na.
Actually, I was thinking of the CPD people, gani. Ang ilang photos nga gi-take ba, kay gamito na nako press release.
Oh, yes! Kana mag-monitor sila?
Yeah.
Ngano, bati?
Ngayon sa dili magamit sa kuan ba, sa press. Tungod sa
Sige.
angle baka or ngit ang
So,
kuan.
can we talk about the topic? Usa man na siyang topic ka na siya? Taking pictures of people?
Field work ba? Sa
Field work
monitoring.
pictures.
Murag outdoors na kuan topic, ma'am.
Oo. Kaya naman ko na landscape, lahi pa ng landscape, diba? Kuan, na. So, people inside a mall. Monitoring. Unsa may ang topic ka ton?
Kuan, pwede na siya sa monitoring man, di ba?
O, mag-monitor ka naman.
Pura siya street and events nga.
Ano tayo events o events?
Kaya ano man, ang behavior is dili niyo makontrol, dili ka ka-control sa post. But what you have to do is take the photo of what is already there. So, it's more on sa doon siya sa street o doon siya sa katong tawag ani.
Events, photography doon.
Okay, so maybe that's the next topic we handle. Okay, kani karon is phone photography. Phonography, actually, phonography. So kaning kang Georgie is really unsa nga lang nato? Events and
basta sa monitoring gamit photos for monitoring. For the media.
From the field.
For use of media.
Photos from the field for use of media. Ton.
We can do that.
Sige, let's do that. Wow, Joanne, daghan na itong staff training. Joanna. Nawala na po, Joanna.
Yes, ma'am, I'm back. Daghan.
Nanganak na. Sige, okay. So, how do you find these people? Kanang useful sila? Useful?
Very, very useful.
Yes, of course.
Naman is Eliza og si Grace dili. Yeah.
Oh, taga Rizon. So yung comments. Eliza.
Paggawas ang Miss Universe nga answer like.
Bitaw, Eliza.
Si Eliza mo ni atong kuan pa picture og usol. Paggawas to sa ilang barangay na unsa ng COVID.
Oh, sa pagbasag sa Eliza.
Wala. Jeanette, oh.
Oh, Jeanette.
Nasa ka nga barangay, Jen. Jen, imong barangay, hotspot imong barangay?
Dili, nako sa Liluan.
Liluan. Okay ra di ay.
Sa north.
Okay ra. Yeah.
Okay ra, nindot kayo. Congrats, Anton.
Yes. Thank you, Anton. Kawing schedule ang next unsa ni siya? Session. Something to do with
session.
Taking pictures for media.
Yes.
For media content.
Yeah. Importante kaya na for DTI.
Okay. According to Georgie, ganda picture. Asa man ni? Oy, ano man yung echo man ko? Echo lagi ko. Daghang picture pero gisamit sa media pero dili acceptable sa media. So we have to learn to say kuan sa media. What's the right kuan? Maybe you can also input anak G. Kaman doang Anton. Unsa may requirement sa media and then Anton can also kuan. G.
But at least ba clear onya limpyo ang kuan, limpyo pagka-take, dili ngit-ngit. Kana may nana basic lang. Sometimes ang basic lisod kay kwaon on field.
Because you don't control
imong subject, especially if moving imong subjects kay like mag-monitor di ba kami og post mo diya post. Di kaya you're taking action shots. So action shots na siya G.
Mo lagi lisod kayo pag control.
So taking action shots di ay
Sige.
Okay, so mao din na siya.
Topic which we can discuss maybe
taking action shots with your cell phone.
Yes, that's the correct term.
So we will agree on a time niya, Ton.
Sige, ma'am.
Kasi maayo nga time. So atong next training will be on July 4. That's a Saturday.
GBG.
Okay mo, ana?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ang topic na to is patong e-commerce with our GBG friends. Temsa ha. GBG. Temsa. Ang topic na to will be patong e-commerce na to. E-commerce series number 1. Wait. Ang topic is setting up Facebook shop, maximizing marketplace for your product, Facebook Yaponi, how to curate an online community for DTI. So, kani siya both for Facebook, and I think when we start enriching our community page sa Global Linker, useful ko din nato. So, muna atong kuan on July 4.
At 1 o'clock?
1:30 to 3. So,
okay.
1.5 hours lang. Find the time. Yeah, si Christian, we are going to borrow the Zoom of Cebu. Abs, nalang idas Christian mo. We're going to borrow the Zoom of Cebu for this. Okay? July 4, 1:30. We will post. Okay mo? Yes? No?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay na, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you. Are we done?
Yes.
Okay na si Anton. Okay, so we will also schedule Anton, and I hope you download the Google Calendar sa atong training Google Calendar so ma-updated gud mo. Sige. So just download the app. And I think usaon na siya, Christian, magpadala na ta og notification sa iyong Gmail.
Naray tayo link ihatag sa GC.
So let's magsuon na ni mga butaka guys. So pareha ta tanan.
Unsa to ingan sa training karong July 4?
E-commerce. Series 1. Wala ko lain ni. Ora na siya kay dahil lain topic, but basically about Facebook and curating online communities. And ongoing atong Global Linker ha. Onboarding sa Global Linker. Yeah. And I just learned na ang atong out of hubs will be on Global Linker pug kuno. So, wala ni Ron. So, ngayon na siya. Okay? Nice?
Madam, excuse me.
Yes.
Madam, before we end, I'd like to invite everyone to attend the training scheduled this 2 p.m. sa EMB ni siya. Yes, we will send the link sa group chats pod later. Direct link to the meeting room.
Which group chat will you send it?
Sa tanan lang, madam, kadtong RO, and then we will send pod sa provinces through the provincial program officers.
Sige.
A reminder sa atong NC group, Jen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Jen, ang katusang sa chat group nato sa NC kay di ba sila mostly ang kuan pod?
Yes, ang target participants kay DTI, mga negotiators, and then exporters.
Yeah, send lang the reminders at there.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Any more questions? Wala na?
Wala. Thank you, Ton.
Reminder sa
Thank you.
Evaluation.
Evaluation.
Nara sa ating chat.
Answer lang.
Okay. Inyong kuan ha? Inyong, saan na siya? Pangalala niya. Feedback. And are we going to give these certificates?
Yes, pasilid, ma'am. Click ang link.
So, Joanna is gonna give e-certificate.
Yes, ma'am. After ma-complete ang evaluation.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Delgos Oriental for hosting.
Thank
Bye.
you. Salamat. Welcome.